Much like us, the next speaker has had her fair share of sitting in the audience at IdeaCon, and she was even a volunteer last year.
That's the IdeaCon effect. It will pull you in and move you closer towards your aspirations and your dreams.
Andrea Catania is a food justice advocate and culinary creative, working to build food systems that are more equitable for both people and planet. Born, bred, and buttered in New York, in central New York, she is a proud first-generation graduate of the Culinary Institute of America. When she's not busy spotting her fellow left-handers in TVs or movies, she can be found reading, hiking, and trying regional dishes on her many travels. Please give a huge IdeaCon welcome to Andrea Catania.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I knew everything. I knew I loved food and people and was going to culinary school. I knew I would cater my best friend's wedding. I knew Facebook and iPods would be cool forever, and I knew by 25 or so I'd have it all figured out. But then life happened and I went on a side quest or two. I did go to culinary school. I did cater my best friend's wedding, at least the rehearsal dinner anyway. But along the way I realized maybe there was a couple things I didn't know. In a past life, as a fine dining restaurant manager, I used to tell my servers, it's not about the meatloaf. And they would say, Andrea, this is a fine dining restaurant, we don't serve meatloaf. But what I meant was, it's not about the dish, it's about the experience. The welcome, the ritual, the warmth of being seen. It's about treating people how they want to be treated. True hospitality is not a transaction, it's a practice of care. So over time, I began to wonder, what if we applied this same thinking to the entire food system? My career took me in lots of different directions, from scooping ice cream as a teen to a senior living facility in Santa Monica, to some high-end resorts in Las Vegas, to Whole Foods in Denver. And I kept seeing the same thing. A system working exactly how it was designed to, but often lacking equity or joy or justice. A system where food waste and hunger are allowed to coexist. A system where the people who grow, ship, and cook our food often aren't paid enough to feed themselves. And a system where food is abundant, but access is not. And at a certain point I realized if the system was designed, it could be redesigned. But in order to disrupt something as massive as our food system, I'd need some new tools to help me stir that pot. So I came to grad school here at Boston University to study gastronomy, an interdisciplinary food studies program where I focused on food policy. Here I gained a deeper language for what I had already lived, that food goes well beyond basic nourishment, and when a food lens is applied, it brings so many other areas into focus. I was beginning to learn how systemic change was made and what channels were available out there. Turns out one of them was at Boston City Hall, at the Mayor's Office of New Urban Mechanics, where I earned a summer fellowship in 2023 and teamed up with my future co-founder, Mark Araujo. We had very different career paths and backgrounds, but we were motivated by the same passion and values. Our vision was a world where food systems centered dignity, not just efficiency, joy, and not just access. Together, we co-founded EquiTable, a food justice organization dedicated to building food systems that can nourish us all. While we have many projects that deal with the human right to food, one strand of our work is called Culinary Commons. It encompasses all our work related to food-based infrastructure in the form of public kitchens. In less than 2 years, we collaborated with some amazing community organizations to prototype 7 of these free communal kitchen spaces around Boston. Then we got connected to Innovate at BU, where asking for guidance is seen as a strength. And placing second in the new venture competition for social impact was the funding push our team needed to reach that next level. Earlier this year, we collaborated with one of our existing community partners in Charlestown to build out and program a permanent public kitchen space. It allows for people to gather, cook, eat, and foster connection. On any given day, people are learning to make pupusas, planning a cookbook for their library, sharing culinary memories, making each other a plate, or questioning why their neighborhood doesn't have a grocery store. While this work is getting some great traction, we're smart enough to know we can't do it alone. Food systems transformation is a big group project. So we're focused on growing our food justice networks here at home and around the world. This means partnering with parallel experts in their own fields like the Sasaki Foundation, MIT Media Lab, and the BU Law Clinic to leverage policy and educational institutions that can help ensure lasting change. We're also doing some of the non-profit-y things like expanding our advisory board, sharing our research, and seeking sustainable funding. And none of this would be possible without cultivating genuine public engagement, which is why the co-design process will always be central to our approach. When I was 17, I believed the world was fixed and someone else was at the helm. Now I know it's malleable, and you don't need permission to begin, only courage. It was never about the meatloaf. It's always been about our capacity to care for one another and our ability to imagine and create our worlds. Everything is designed, from school lunch menus to zoning laws, from funding pipelines to food security initiatives. But design is not destiny. We can unmake what no longer serves us. We can build what delights us, and we can do it together. Thank you.